Hey everyone, episode 188, and we are kicking off 2025 with the low-hanging fruit, Jon and Andy. We discussed my recent trip to Vietnam and Laos. We talked about Trump and his, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm saying it, but the next 4 years and what we're dreading. I know we did discuss a few things at length. I swear to Christ, I've got no idea. I'm going to be dead set honest. You hate me forever, I don't know. Anyway, like, share, follow, subscribe, guys. Really goes a long way if you can like, comment, do something. I don't know. Something's got to give. Yeah, I've got to get out of this office. It's really late. Enjoy.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Madness.
Let's rock. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
What is it with walking
Leave a message, baby. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes.
Wait for the boot and the
In
beat.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. Will you shut up, man?
Weird.
I'm Chris Hansen.
Oh, you gotta give him that hook. Dude, spit on that thing.
Unless you're scripted, you're useless. Unless you're scripted, you're useless.
Do you know what that reference is, man?
No.
Oh. Okay. Should we find it?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, we'll start it off on a high note and then just get worse progressively.
And then it's just all downhill.
Yeah, man. All right, hang on. Hang on. Are you serious? You don't know what 11
I've never
is?
seen Spinal Tap.
Oh, I saw it at the Astor Theatre. There's a screening.
This is a top to what we use on stage, but it's very, very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the
and
amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it? It's not 10. You see, most blokes are going to be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up,
Yeah.
all the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Still funny, man. Just this face, I was just chewing. These go to 11. What a dickhead. That's good. Good to be back.
That's your phone? No, I've had it for about a year now.
Oh, it's looking brickier than usual.
It looks like a hard drive.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks like an
I severely underestimated how big it was when I got it.
It looks like an actual hard
Got a
drive.
two-hand, that one.
I do, yeah.
Is it that big?
It's pretty
Hey,
big.
compare it to this. Yeah. Oh, gee, that's huge, man.
Look at it.
Look at it.
I know.
Seriously?
Well, this essentially replaced my tablet. I use it for everything now.
Oh, I can
for all
see
my
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Wait, you read on that?
Yeah.
Don't you get blind?
No. I actually just got my eyes checked yesterday.
What are you, blind?
What are you, blind?
He's like, no need for a spotlight. Just
And
turn
my
the screen
eyes
around.
didn't deteriorate, believe it or not.
Hunting and he's using it to fish out rabbits.
Wait, you didn't deteriorate?
No.
Did you take your glasses off during the test?
Of course I did.
He put on a second pair on top of his contacts.
Did these come magnified?
John, we're ready for your test. No, in a second. It just comes out.
He walks into the toilet. John, this way. Over here, mate. I thought it said test room. Sorry.
Stop. I can't.
John, that's the closet.
Let me come out of there.
Hey, watch it. Okay, so your eyesight hasn't deteriorated.
No, it hasn't, because usually it's always they kind of slightly just changed one step every year for the last couple
What's
of years.
the metric for, like, eyes deteriorating? And this is a genuine question. I know I'm laughing, but...
Diopters, I think they call it.
Yeah, but like when they do a scan, right? So if your car does 1,000 kilometres...
when you go in to get your eyes tested, you know how you go into that little room and they...
No, I haven't had my eyes tested in many, many years.
What are you waiting for? Didn't we... Yeah, okay.
What?
Do you know, it was like 3 years ago you said, like, I got to get my eyes tested? I said, yeah, give me a call, and you never did?
Yes, well.
Didn't just like to feel for things.
Yes, he just...
there's the phone.
Yeah.
What?
Next thing you know, we're going to have a Pistoria situation going on over there.
Fuck off. He got released.
I know.
Yeah, he got released over summer. Yeah, he got released to his... was it a house arrest?
Something like that.
Or is he actually free?
I think he's free. They released him like a year or two ago, didn't they?
No.
Was it that long ago already?
Yeah, I feel like he already served his time well over 2 years ago.
He killed her. Like,
of course he killed
100%.
her. Yeah.
You're right.
Someone shook this.
It wasn't us. You're the one that put it in the fridge. You're right, man. What are you doing? And napkins to your right. Just get a tissue.
Now, there's more to it, but essentially when you're going for an eye test, you go into this little room and you sit in a machine. They take, like, photos of your eyes first, okay?
John's doing the test. Take your pants off. Aren't we testing my eyes? Take your pants off.
Okay, come in and take your pants off.
I see we have some problems
But I've got
there.
to see the issue, yes. What?
You got to pull it up, Scrubs, man. When it's Turk's, is it Turk's doctor or JD's doctor? He's like, all right, come in and take your pants off. I'm like, I'm just here for a cough. Yeah, come in and take your pants off.
If you work in a hospital long enough, you get used to anything. Whether it's Dr. Kim, who makes patients take their pants off no matter what.
Yep, you've got pink eye. Can I put my pants back on? Right after I put some drops in.
Drops. That's what I'm doing it. Anyway, okay, so you've taken the pants off. You're in the room.
Yeah, so basically you go into this little room.
Seemingly someone with bad eyesight in a dark room with no pants on. Yeah, you'd like to take control there, John.
Just breathe.
And they
deep breath.
Gonna feel a little pinch.
Not sus at all, man. What's going on? Deep breath.
Can someone turn the lights back on? Hello?
It's a room with no natural sunlight.
Why is there no windows in here?
But there's a breeze.
What's that exhaust smell? It's in the back of a van. Okay.
So you go in and they take... Surprisingly, I didn't know this, but apparently a lot of optical chains don't take photos or certain things, certain, like, checks before you go and see an optometrist.
What do you mean?
So, without giving anything away, there's certain companies that... So there's 3 tests that you can do when you go and see an optometrist. First one is... it's
do any involve your eyes?
Yeah, they
I
all
don't know
do.
what you're going to say.
2 out of 6.
It's just prostate glands, you know what I mean? Scrotum, testicular cancer.
So there's
hitting all the high notes. But what are my eyes? No, well, no.
Oh, no, your eyes are fine.
That's a separate case.
You know when you got your last glasses, yeah? You went to... Was it Oscar Wiley?
Yeah.
What test did they run before you saw the optometrist?
Tests did they run before that? They didn't. They put me straight into... Yeah.
So a lot of them... The main one is that they do... I don't know the full name for it because it's so long. It's one of those, Latin gibberish things. But it's... for short, they call it an OCT, and it's basically just a 3D image of your eye.
Yeah.
And it helps them find the health of the macula.
Hope so.
Yeah. The cornea, and they just overall, that's usually the one where they find, like, if there's clots or anything. Remember I was telling you about strokes and stuff like that last time. Nerve damage, anything like that. Then after that, the next one after that, it's a separate machine, and it's called like an auto refract, which basically, that's the one with the little hot air balloon that you look at. Mm-hmm. And that one there actually helps the optometrist find your base prescription.
Right.
So when you go in and then they're showing you the chart, by looking at that hot air balloon, it goes in and out of focus.
Yeah,
that's actually a machine trying to narrow down your actual script, the size of your eye and everything. So people with astigmatism's always, it's a little bit harder because it's a little bit differently shaped. So you have some numbers there that appear on the screen, and then those numbers are what the optometrist goes off to find your actual script.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is like a pressure test where that's when they puff the air into your eye, and that's to help find like other health conditions that you could have, like cataracts and glaucoma and other things. But I forgot what I was going to say now. But yeah, so when you go
the metrics that they use.
Yeah, so that's it. So essentially then once you go into the room with the optometrist, based off all that information.
So you're saying that's done before the optometrist?
Yeah.
Oh, I did it with the optometrist.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
some might do it that way, yeah. But yeah, from what I've heard, there's a few franchises out there, or just like, ones that you would find in centres or out on this, like not private ones. They don't do some of those tests. And some of those tests, which are actually bulk billed by Medicare, they actually charge you for them when they're not supposed to because Medicare covers it.
Yeah.
What's the test cost?
$100.
How long does it take?
That's just to run those machines.
Was it like 20 minutes?
What those?
The test?
No, they're literally not even 3 minutes.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No. An actual optometrist tests can be up to 20 minutes.
Right.
But those machine tests that are like check your health, they don't take... Like when it's like a younger person, you can get them done in like literally 2 minutes.
Okay, so my question was, what metric do they use to gauge whether your eyes deteriorate?
So based off that second one I told you, the auto refract, but then lifestyle stuff as well. So like mine didn't go down, and I asked the optometrist, would you say could that be attributed to not having as much heavy screen time as I used to? He goes 100%. Screen time, especially like, not like so much work, but, like your home video games and just, constantly on the monitor and all that. Okay, because it's just eye strain as well.
So do your eyes deteriorate as quickly with like a tablet as, say, a book?
Not necessarily. It's more, say, in the type of lighting, possibly.
I was going to say, isn't it the blue light that's known to damage?
So
what are those blue light glasses that everyone wears?
So those actually don't do anything.
So why do they sell them?
Because people have been talking about them for so long that they've made people believe that they're effective. But essentially, to get blue light damage to your eyes, you'd have to be looking at a monitor or a blue light for like an entire year straight.
Yeah.
In order for some permanent damage?
For any type of damage.
So why do people wear them?
For the same reason people go to a chiropractor.
Do you know what I
It just rubbishes the entire field of chiropractic.
Well, it's not a legitimate medical field.
Yeah, I know, but people swear by him.
I reckon,
Placebo effect.
Okay.
What I reckon is what we spoke about last time, which was that people trying to minimize whatever they can do that they would then believe would help over time.
And you're saying that the blue light glasses are rubbish?
Pretty much.
I did a lot of research into that, and I'm surprised to hear you say that, because I saw proven studies saying there was impact.
So the only impact...
By the what? The local hypnotical association?
No, by scientists.
Oh, scientists.
So they
Bruce Banner?
Essentially, they will sell them to you, but they have to give you the disclaimers like, we can sell you this, but we don't endorse it. And there's no proven thing that shows that by wearing them will reduce the effect of a blue light screen.
What's the other quackery out there that effectively do nothing?
But in saying that,
there's more.
Have you ever been in a dark room and looked at your monitor with blue light on?
No.
Have you? Okay, well, I was going to say the difference between putting a blue light filter on is blindingly different.
Do you mean that felt screen thing that goes over the screen?
No, just turn on night mode.
Oh, yeah, I've had the night mode on.
Yeah. But I'm saying turn it on and turn it off, and you can't actually stare at the monitor anymore after looking at night mode. If you look at night mode, right, and you sit there for an hour looking at your screen, and then turn it off in the dark, you can't sit there staring at the blue light. You can't. It hurts your eyes.
Yeah. I actually can't even look at night mode on the actual on a PC.
It could be related to eye strain then more than the damage.
What's this?
Like the blue light. Like if you're sitting there staring at it. Because I definitely get eye strain looking at it, but I don't get it with...
Look, there's definitely eye strain, but they're saying the effect of the blue light to cause damage to your eyes is not proven. It's just kind of subjective. Not subjective, it's just kind of like...
What, even after so long with computers being a mainstay, like in people's houses and stuff?
I'll look it up and I'll let you know. But essentially, it's like I remember them saying.
Who told you this?
I was going to say we're putting a lot of trust in.
Yeah, now I'm wondering, is it one of those like, the guy at my work told me it doesn't affect anything, and literally the world science, blah blah, is like, no, it's
head office training.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I don't trust it.
I mean, they would
show me studies. Show me studies.
They wouldn't put a disclaimer on something if they're still going to make money off it.
It's like Toyota saying you'll get 5 kilometers per gallon or whatever the fuck we use here. What do we use here? Liters. Thank you. and then you never get that number, do you? You never get that number.
Drove a car to get here.
You never get that number. I also worked in the industry. You never get that number.
Okay.
I'll say my eyesight has deteriorated horribly since I've spent 15 hours a day on the computer.
Well, that was going to say, how many hours are recommended per day before you start doing damage of screen time?
I would have a clue.
There's no overarching thing? Okay, well, let's just Google it.
I'm just saying, essentially, they're saying if you're going to get eye damage from blue light,
you're going to get it.
You have to be using it every second for a year.
Hours screen time per day.
I think it might even be more than that, to be honest.
Okay, depends on age, blah, 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 blah. Adults. I love how the recommended screen time for adults is 8 hours at work.
Oh, conveniently. When you go home, no screen time.
Yeah, limit screen time to less than 2 hours a day outside of work.
Oh, yes.
So it's 1 hour of outside.
Conveniently.
In an overcast day, projects 30 times more blue light than 1 hour in front of the screen.
Yeah, but that's a different type of blue light.
It's still blue light.
It says there's no universal answer to this question, but spending 7 hours or more on screens daily could potentially harm your eyes.
How much?
7.
Oh, I'm fucked.
I'm fucked as well.
I'm blind. Legally.
Already.
Who was that?
You're going to come in with the stick.
Hello?
What is a realistic screen time limit?
Why are the lights off?
Does TV count as screen time? Here's a fun fact. Literally, that's what it says here. The average American spends over 4 hours a day in front of the TV. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure it's more than that.
It's got to be more than that,
Has
man.
to be.
Teenagers who had 4 or more hours of daily screen time were more likely to have depression symptoms in the past 2 weeks. Well, I could have told you that.
I've done 2 eye tests in my life. Once when I got the glasses from Oscar Wiley a few years back, and once when I was still a teenager. I had 20/20. I had legit, spot on, dead set, amazing eyesight, got credited as a kid. And now I can't see shit.
There's the references.
Can't see anything.
Squinting.
There's the references.
Those got references.
Do you have a blue light filter on?
What a company, man.
Who?
Him.
Why?
Because he's going by what his overlords have said at...
Well, it would be the same, the optometrists at, say, one company would get the same type of training at another optometrist company because they don't have to go to the same hospital or same schooling.
Nah, that's not true. They come up with their own crap.
Oh, after school, sure.
Yeah.
Same as doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They'll
Go to a
do
GP,
the same, how do you treat this?
Yeah.
And then doctors will branch off into their own, I'll look into this
there's
myself.
that. But I don't know. I just find of all the optical companies that I've kind of dealt with, these are the least scummy.
Scummy.
Still scummy.
Scummy.
Every company's scummy. They've always got, tendrils in something.
Still scummy.
Nah, they're pretty
We
good.
don't believe in blue light. However, red light filters only we supply do work.
You'd probably have better eye protection with a pair of lenses that just had an anti-reflective coating on it. They'll probably do more benefit.
Like sunnies?
No, just like an anti-reflective.
Is that what's on sunnies?
No, that's polarizing.
Oh, they're polarizing. Okay.
Similar type of stuff, but different.
Just absorbs less light or something.
It reflects it actually reflects the artificial light off the lens.
Fuck. Sorry, I'm just looking at these.
I'm learning all the jargon for selling stuff now.
Actually, speaking of freaking eyes,
yes,
you annoyed me about the my trip. Mm-hmm. The flight up, I purposely booked a red eye so I could get on the flight, middle of the night specs, and just sleep all the way to Vietnam. Yeah, They left the lights on the entire time.
Some people were afraid of the dark.
Excuse me, could you turn these lights off?
No, have you ever had that? I got on the plane.
They always turn off.
I thought it was like a law to have the lights off after a certain time.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and you could put that useless reading
Yeah,
light
yeah,
on that
yeah,
blinds
yeah.
everyone anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long was the flight?
Oh, like
10 hours?
8 hours or 9
And
hours.
what time did you leave?
Literally flew out of here at like 1 a.m., 1:30 in the
Oh,
morning.
okay, yeah.
No, like purposely did it. So I would get there in the morning at like,
Like fully rested.
Yeah, ready to go. And dude, I got on the plane, sat down, put my head back, put the headphones in, and just closed my eyes. And I slept for most of it, but it was a really disjointed sleep.
Yeah.
And then like I just found myself squinting half the time. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm trying to look out the window, and then, like the glare's just hitting me back in the face. And then when I remember it must have been about 2 hours away. I'm like, I don't realize. I'm like, these lights have been on all night. And I was like, and then people in the consensus in the group was like, God, I'm sure that's normal. Like, I'm sure they were right. I'm like, no.
They've always been turned
I'm
off.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I go, because
If it's
for
at night.
landing, the lights have to be off no matter what when you land. And I remember saying, I guarantee you $1 million, the lights are going to come off when we're like descending. I'm about to land.
Do they?
Dude, the sun had already come up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they turn them off at night and then they turn them on during the day.
Yeah.
So whatever it is outside, it's off, just so because people might want to sleep. Yeah.
Exactly.
Who'd you fly with?
Vietjet or someone.
Ah, well.
Oh, they're useless. I didn't tell you what happened.
Maybe the lights were directly linked to the engine.
They've got like a cable just running straight from the engine, the battery to the lights.
It's like,
don't touch that. He's got his car. He's got his phone charger tacked up to it as well. Did I tell you what happened with Vietjet?
No.
Surely.
No.
I didn't invent any of this while I was away.
No.
All right. So I was what 3 weeks, and I've never had so many successive fuck ups in logistics and accommodation consecutively. And I'm not blaming the Vietnamese. I'm just blaming individuals for it, like all this shit. The key one was the flights. So we were in Da Nang, went to Hoi An, and then we were meant to fly back to Ho Chi Minh to go to Hai Phong, like up north, because we had some cruise, like, we had some shit booked, right? So that was the whole thing. And then once we got to the Hai Phong, we were going to go like just across the north to Hanoi and then fly out to Laos. I'm running logistics, everything's ship shape, organise a car, like organise all the vehicles and shit, sweet. Get to the airport, Ho Chi Minh, clapping my hands. I'm like, mad. We've got like 2 hours to go here early. It's only a domestic flight anyway, so we only have to be there an hour early. And go to the desk. The woman's like, you've missed your flight. I go, what? You've missed your flight. What are you talking about? Like, it was like 11 a.m. or whatever. No. That got brought back. That got brought forward. You've missed it. I was never notified.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we sent you an email. What email? Oh, to this email address here. That's not my email address. What do you mean? It's got your name on it. I go, yeah, my first name is there, but the rest of the domain's not mine. Like, I've never seen that email. Why would that? It was like my booking reference dot something. Like some random. I go, that's a random email address. That's not my email address. Well, it said sent. I go, I don't give a shit what it said. I go, you've got my mobile number. No one texted me.
That was a good line for you to just be like, well, I didn't see received.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, well, I didn't receive shit. I go, you've never emailed me anything. Oh, no. Well, we use that for communications. I go, hang on, man. I go, I've got like half a dozen flights, booked over the next 3-4 weeks. You've already contacted me to let me know that flights in 3 weeks have been delayed for whatever bullshit reason. And you texted me directly. The one flight that you booked, that I booked, that you brought forward, which is unheard of. When do they ever bring a flight forward?
Never.
They delay it by 5 hours. Yeah?
Yeah.
They brought it forward. The one flight they bring forward, no text, no nothing. Just an email to a random address that doesn't exist. Well, I'm sorry, but that's how it is. I'm like, what do you mean?
Was this over in Vietnam?
Yeah, it was in Ho Chi Minh. So I'm arguing with them. And then I'm like, well, we need to get to freaking Hai Phong. Oh, no flight's going there for another 2 days. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? So I ended up having to book new flights to go to Hanoi. Basically spent an extra 2 days in a city that I wasn't planning on spending 2 days in. No credit, no refund, no nothing. They're like, well, you have to take it up with your insurance, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They had the one guy in the group that didn't speak Vietnamese yelling at these people in Vietnamese. I learned all the good words. It's great. But yeah. And there was a couple other, like half a dozen people standing around saying the same thing. Like, yeah, they brought our flight forward, no one contacted us, or like something similar to that regard. That's $800, $1,000, like whatever, just straight to nothing.
Wait, so okay.
Yeah. And their policy is all claims must be made within 14 days of like the incident. I was traveling for 3 weeks through 2 different countries in like 6, 7 cities. When was I going to get a chance to go through claims for flights and bullshit? You know what I mean? That was the start.
Yeah.
Surely, I feel like I told you guys.
No.
Not that.
Did I see what happened with the apartment in Rakyat? Surely.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
Must have been holding out.
No, I think you have.
I was pretty livid about it.
You did say you wanted a vent.
Yeah.
In this session.
I lost it. So we've done transit from Laos, from Vientiane to like to Cambodia, Phnom Penh, and then from Phnom Penh to Ho Chi Minh, and then from Ho Chi Minh, transit car to Rakyat, which is like west. So it was like a 4 or 5 hour drive, yeah? Last minute, I changed accommodation, right, to suit a bit better, and I ended up getting a bunch of apartments. And they were, credit to the actual apartment itself, it looked really new, so it looked like something that would have been built in Melbourne. Accommodation in Vietnam is shit. Unless you pay, there's no middle ground. So unless you pay like top dollar, like we're talking hundreds and thousands like for a week, then the rest of it's like homestays, like just $50 a night, $80 a night, and it's crap, yeah? It's just the standard of like, they just haven't brought up the speed because there's no demand for it.
Yeah.
Because most people are happy to just pay the extra money. So the apartments, the serviced apartments that I got in Rakyat, there's literally, if you get on booking.com, there's literally 10 places to stay in the entire city. And it's like $50, $60, $50, $30, $20, hostel looking specs, homesteads, and then one really stupid expensive sort of joint. You know what I mean? So we got there late because we had like a 5 hour transit from Ho Chi Minh, and it was a couple of serviced apartments. Each serviced apartment had like 2 bedrooms, yeah? So just imagine how big they are. They look like, they were bigger than my actual apartment, even my like Noble Park joint, yeah? Dude, I go in, no toilet paper, no linen, no soap, and the place is dirty as well. And I was like, great. So I call the guy, I go, hey man, I go, all the apartments, you know, like that we've booked, they're all fucked. Housekeeping clearly hasn't come through. I'll be there in a minute. Like, okay. Dude rocks up. He just looked like a stoner that would have been playing like something on like, you know, Discord or some shit. Like just, he had that vibe to him, yeah? This tall dude with glasses, just aloof. I go, look, man. I go, it hasn't been cleaned. Like, place is nice. I go, but this isn't right. Goes through, he's like, oh yeah, like beds haven't been done, whatever. All right, cool. He's just like stressing about it. Comes back like a bit later. He's like, oh, he's trying to make it up. I go, look, man. I go, this isn't going to work. I go, we've got 6 people. You know, like there's a bunch of us. Got a call from like someone from a relative from within the group and said, listen, I've got a bunch of hotels and stuff that I run, but it's like an hour away from where we were. And we were going to go out there over the next day anyway. Do you want to just come out here, stuff it, let them sort it out overnight? I said, all right, stuff it. 1 more hour of transit, big deal, right? At least we're going to where we're meant to be tomorrow, so we get an early start and get it all, like, whatever we were doing. So we go out there. I tell the guy, just have this shit sorted by tomorrow night, man. Cool. Oh, and there was no washing machines in the apartments.
And I said there was.
So we'd been traveling for like 10 days by that point and hadn't done laundry. And it's like, man, we got these apartments because there was washing machines. We figured, you know, there was like six people worth of shit.
What is this, Airbnb?
No, it was a booking.com booking, but it may as well have been an Airbnb.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of the stuff. Like, that's the same, like, when we went to Queensland last year, I'm going again this year, just booked it on the weekend, went through booking.com, and it's like a hotel, but it turns out it's just every single apartment in there is like Airbnb.
I've never had a problem with it. When I went through Europe, there was a bunch of apartments I stayed in, like the one in Portugal. Both my places in Portugal were Airbnbs, but they were both through bookings.com.
Interesting, okay.
Doesn't matter. Like,
well, it kind of does, because you think booking.com is more
it's
around
be a hotel.
hotels, yeah.
Yeah, but in order to combat Airbnb, they're allowing anyone to get on there.
Wow.
Now. As long as you got some form of professional setup, and it's not just, you know, Madge with an outhouse. Yeah.
Okay.
And I said to the guy, look, man, I go, you got no washing machines in here either. Oh, really? I don't know about that. I go, well, you fucking advertise it on the place.
Someone must have stolen it.
Yeah. It's interesting. Someone else has said it too. I go, well, there you go. I go, I'm not making that up. Yeah. Dude, that was the response. It was like, no. I'm like, yes.
He's like, oh, let me just finish my game of Valorant in the back. I'm just on round 3.
I swear to God,
the boys are waiting for me.
I swear, that's the vibe you had.
Then I just got to quickly cook something for the missus, and then I'll come back.
I've got a raid starting in 2 hours.
Can we be done by 8:30?
And so I've said to him, look, I go, if you're not going to provide washing machines as we're paid for, take everyone's washing. I said to everyone, okay, bring your suitcases down here, dump them on the table. They're going to have to sort it out. He goes, yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of it. All right, cool. So we leave. We go for an hour away, all right? We spend the day in this other city, other town, hour out, and just did some shit around there, which we were planning on doing eventually while we were on that side of the coast. I messaged the guy, hey, man, we're going to be back at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Is that enough time? Yeah, it'll be fine. And your clothes will be here as well. I'm like, all right, back on track. I get to the room.
You fool!
I get to the room. And remember, there's 2 bedrooms to each room, yeah?
Yeah.
So just 2, like, with double beds. So you're assuming 4 adults to 6 adults per apartment. I get in. Sheets have been done, right? 1 towel per room. 1 toilet roll per apartment. Soap that was the size, legit, I swear to God, it was like a thimble. It was like
had
that
it been
big.
Used, or was it
was a little tiny bottle like this.
Bottle.
A little bottle, like the size of this USB. And that was doubling as hand soap and shampoo.
Oh.
And the room hadn't been cleaned yet either. So, like, the same scuff marks on the ground, same hair in the bathroom. Like, what do you mean? So I call the guy again. Hey, man, this room hasn't been cleaned. Like, what the hell is... I go, yeah, I can see the linen. Thanks for the towel. You know what I mean? Thanks for the pillowcase.
Yeah.
But everything else is fucking cooked. All right, I'm coming. Dude, the guy rocks up. And I was talking to him, and I just couldn't bother dealing with him, right? So I've just looked away and just pulled out my phone just to try and figure out whatever else I was doing. And I've looked up, and he's unplugging the microwave and, like, picks it up. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I need this. Can you take my microwave? Are you for real? Like, you can take the bed? He's like, what if I want to cook something, man?
Just come upstairs.
Yeah, that's it. And I was just like, I go, we better not be paying for last night. I go, the place wasn't livable. I go, between the 2 apartments that we booked, wasn't livable. I go, expecting a refund here. Oh, you're making things difficult for me. That was the response.
Wow.
You're making things difficult for me. I just threw my hands up. I said, I can't be fucked. Man, I'm not precious. I've slept in hovels, like when I've traveled, especially when it's cheap. I don't care. But when you advertise certain things and you don't deliver, then you take my fucking microwave at the same time. There's food in the fridge, man. Left over from the previous people.
From what my experiences have been, when Airbnb first got released, I tried it. It was fine. A year or two, a little bit further into it, tried it again, rubbish. Tried it again, rubbish. All right, I'm done with Airbnb.
That's it, yeah.
I'm moving back to the Hilton. I'm moving back to the hotels. And I haven't looked back since. There's no way. There's just no way. It's not worth the problems that you had, for example. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay the extra. Just pay the extra.
Look, we both travel differently as well. Whenever I do like a holiday, right, I'll usually have one luxy sort of destination in all of it, so I can treat myself to like something nice. Usually it's the last stop of the trip. So
yeah.
What did it cost you for the room?
Fuck all. Like less than $60-$70. Like nothing. But if it was $150 or $250, I still would have paid it.
Yeah.
But just, dude, don't advertise shit that you don't pull through with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That was like the start. That was the last leg of the trip, so I was sort of over it by that point. But there's so many different things that just happened. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding? Like, it was just one more thing. What else was there? Oh, dude, the guy in the hotel. Fuck, man. By the time I got to my last leg in Ho Chi Minh, where effectively was the nicest accommodation out of everything, and I literally booked this accommodation. It was a service department, like mint hotel, nice pool, like all that shit. But I was at like my wit's end. I was exhausted. I'm like, I can't bother dealing with any more logistics issues. I was I was by myself. I'd gone down to like either, I think, book a cab or something. And I've gotten back into the lift. No, I was coming out of the lift to get outside. The door's open. And there's a dude standing in front of me with one of those big ass like trolleys, that they have in the lobby. The ones that they load up. The boys load up.
Yeah.
The dude standing next to the trolley was blocking the doorway, right? The dude next to the trolley looked like it was like a Korean fucking pop star or something, just sitting there, half jilted, with the fucking weird hair and shit.
Little fringe going.
Yeah. And I've I was playing with my phone, so the doors have opened, and I've looked up and seen this trolley and gone, like, fuck, like, I can't get out. The dude on the other side that was standing next to the trolley, it was his trolley, he's looked at me and then gone to push the trolley into me. Yeah. As if I was in his way.
Was he a worker there, or was he just
No, he was a guest. But he's put both hands physically on the trolley and gone to shove it, like, into the lift, as if I was just going to miraculously, like, squeeze out of the way. Dude, I nearly lost my shit. Imagine me, like, having slept, pissed off, and this dude's, like, physically acknowledges me and then puts his hands on the trolley and shoves. I swear to God, man. One more inch and I would have been like, nah. I would have just tackled the dude.
Wait, so what happened?
Nothing. I didn't move. I looked at him and just went, you serious? He just sort of looked at me again and just stood to the side a bit, but I actually like had to shove my way out of the lift. Yeah.
This is why I don't like leaving the apartment. There's too much of that shit.
Serious.
People are brain dead, just straight up.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter where you go.
Doesn't matter where. Exactly. Exactly. Doesn't matter where you go.
Okay, there's one other thing I've written here. These are mostly complaints.
Of course they are.
But there's something that I didn't quite understand. I saw it.
It's a rant and he can't figure out what he was ranting about.
No, it's not a rant. I'm not trying to rant.
No, I'm saying it's a complaint, but you don't know what it is.
No, this isn't a complaint. This is amongst the complaining. It says camel wrestling. Did you know camel wrestling was a thing?
No. Camel wrestling?
Yeah. Camel wrestling. I can't remember where I was reading it. Whether it was online. In Southeast Asia and in the Middle East.
They wrestle camels? Or
Camels wrestle.
How?
Oh, two camels fight each other?
Yeah.
What? With what?
Well, I assume it's like cockfighting.
Let's bring it up.
Because I looked up...
Just be careful. We don't want anyone knocking on the doors.
No, because I actually met someone who breeds and what's it called? Roosters for cockfights.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's Vietnam, man.
No, I thought you were going to say, like, I met someone who's a camel trainer.
The loser gets eaten.
The
winner gets eaten.
Hang on. Camel wrestling. Wait a second. Camel wrestling. That's it. And I was surprised that it was actually... Here we go. Two camels wrestling. Camel wrestling is a sport in which two male camels wrestle, typically in response to a female camel in heat being led before them. It's most common in the Aegean region of Turkey, also practiced in Middle East and South Asia. Yeah. How the hell do they fight? Camels fight by using their necks as leverage to force their opponent to fall down. The camel is declared the winner if the competitor falls to the ground and flees from the fight. 20 grand. The hell? Camels attempt to flee through the crowd.
Go to the middle of the country here, get yourself a camel, and
we have
fly.
camels here, don't we?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Go out into the desert, get yourself a camel, fly it out to Southeast Asia, and you can be the next Don King of camels.
Make 20 grand
per camel. I don't know. I remember reading about it, and I just made a note on my phone. Like, I got to look this up because I asked the guy what the average how long it takes to breed a rooster into becoming like a rooster trained for cockfighting. He said it's about a year. But they had this hatchery that was like this fucking rooster house that was literally as tall as, you know, those silos in the city, those old chimneys that go, yeah, they're literally like that.
Okay.
It was as bigger than a church. It was huge. So what the hell is that? He goes, the first 4 levels are like for roosters that are being trained. Then there's like 2 levels for chickens that are laying eggs, and then blah, 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 blah.
You wouldn't just train one rooster, would you?
No.
You'd train a few. Cause
no, you'd have a fleet.
Yeah, you put all that effort into 1 year, dies its first fight. Like,
how do you know when the rooster's ready? You'll hear it. Bark. Whoa. Yeah, he's good.
I don't know how you'd actually train it to fight. How would you train it to fight?
Gloves.
You feed it the eggs, the raw eggs.
You're feeding the rooster the raw eggs.
It's a cannibal rooster.
Was that in Seinfeld? The cockfight, Little Jerry.
Yeah.
And they've got the glove. Yeah. All right, that's enough for today. Yeah, man. I don't know, it was eye-opening. It was very, very strange. Hey everyone, if you've made it this far and you haven't already, please subscribe to our Spotify, YouTube and social media accounts. For every like you give our posts, a little Tibetan boy gets a new pair of Jordans. Don't forget to comment and let us know just how we're disappointing you. And now back to the episode. I met some funny people over there, man. I met a local who I actually want to do an interview with, man. He's like a local kingpin. This guy was like born basically abandoned by his parents. His old man was an alcoholic. His mother went AWOL. I don't know why. He was raised by his grandmother. And he basically lived off the streets doing whatever he had to do, including like he flew over to Malaysia and was importing wines over there illegally. And then about 6-7 years ago, he won the lottery. He won like the equivalent of like 2 million Aussie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he basically set himself up where he's got this like restaurant sort of thing going on. He's got hotels, which are all attached to brothels. Then he's got like the local Have you guys know about the lotto? It's in a lot of Southeast Asian countries, Vietnam, and I think Cambodia and Laos as well. So they've got local lottery tickets. So there's no syndicated like lotto the way it is like nationwide. Maybe there is one, but every single region has got its own lotto, which is drawn every day. And basically, they employ like
every day. Wow.
Yeah, but they employ like elderly people with disabilities and stuff, like to sell like tickets. Do you know what I mean? But it's all set up and run by people in different districts. So he employs like 100 people or 50 people to walk the streets and sell tickets. So while I was sitting there having breakfast or whatever, a woman came up to him and was offering him tickets, and she said something like, "You're rich, come on, buy them back." And he looked at me like he didn't speak English, but like we're communicating via other people in Google and Google Translate as well. And he's like, I'm sitting there buying my own tickets back that I'm paying people to like actually sell. You know what I mean? It was like literally like a kingpin, and he'd sort of been on both sides of the law and was still not dabbling in the dark side anymore because he had too many close calls. And he had like full puncture wounds from stab wounds and all types of shit. But they're all like that, man, all over the joint. And I asked him, I go, can you get a gun here? He goes, nah. Communism, man. You can't be a gun owner in a communist country. Like in Vietnam. Laos as well, I think. But yeah.
That's why they like knives so much.
You reckon?
Probably.
Yeah,
Makes
they all
sense.
have machetes.
They're just very comfortable with it, yeah.
Yeah. Because I asked him, I go, you can't buy a gun? He goes, nah, you couldn't even find one.
Vietnamese have been notorious for machetes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Maybe that makes sense now. Because that's just how... That's what you can use.
Because you can't actually buy a gun.
Right.
Yeah. Because it was like... It's
hand-to-hand warfare, basically. There's no one getting shot from a few hundred meters away.
Well, cops have guns, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cops do. It's different. Like last time I'd gone to Vietnam was 2008. So in those years, like the city's transformed. Like Ho Chi Minh has got like skyscrapers and shit now, whereas I remember it being half dirt road, half the city. You know what I mean? I was also staying in a different side, but like it's really weird, man. Like I described Ho Chi Minh as looking like Athens if it was 50 years back, communist, and the Greeks had the balls to live how they truly wanted to live as opposed to how society has forced them to live. That's the way I describe Ho Chi Minh. Because Greeks and Vietnamese are very similar culturally. Like they're really strong. They've got really strong family sort of orientations. They're really into their, like into spending whatever they have on alcohol, booze, and food and a good time as opposed to saving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
South Vietnam, so it's Ho Chi Minh and shit. If you go to Hanoi, it's a lot cleaner. It's clean. It's more European, but still, you feel like you're almost in Melbourne. But South is like lax as fuck. And you go out in the morning to go get your coffee or your soup or whatever, and there'll be dudes just passed out, like sitting, like having a nap. It's like, what is he doing? He probably went out this morning, did some random job to get a bit of coin. Now he's sleeping for like the next 6 hours because it's too fucking hot. And then he'll be back out tonight doing something else. And like, you will walk past restaurants or little cafes that are set up in front of people's houses, and there'll be people sitting there at 1, 2 in the morning just talking shit, finishing off drinks, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's really strange. It's nice. Like, I wouldn't go back to all the same places I went to. Laos is another kettle of fish. You know, I didn't find a single touristy thing in all of Laos. I can't believe I didn't tell you any of this in the text.
No. You're all just memes and smut.
I felt like I spoke to you guys more when I was away than when I'm here. Smut.
Especially.
Dude, my thing is to find a magnet from every country that I've traveled to. I went to Laos looking for fucking magnets. Couldn't find a single touristy shop.
Really?
Not one. And I said to myself, I guarantee you the airport's going to have a fucking tourist shop. One tourist shop at the airport looked like an old kiosk, and they wanted like $10-12 for a magnet. I told them to get fucked. They're stinging me for $12.
Wait, I thought Laos was a pretty touristy spot. It's not?
No. Oh. No, except for the place that's, where the girls died from the ethanol?
Methanol.
Yeah, methanol, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that city, it's just a town. We went to it because it's all the touristy shit's attached to. As soon as we got there, it was the first time I'd seen Westerners in like 11 days, yeah? Overrun with girls doing their eat, pray, love bullshit, you know. If I have to name like tourists I hate, Greek tourists are number one that are leaving Greece for like the first time. Greeks from Greece, not Greeks from Australia. Greeks from Greece that wear their diesel jeans and their fucking Dolce & Gabbana jackets to go like away for 2 days. And the whole family comes to the airport like they're fucking diplomats.
Yeah.
Most hated tourists. I hate them. Number
Really?
2? Are you serious? You haven't seen them? Italians are the same.
Yeah, I know.
John's like, that's why I just hate everyone.
They're the worst. You just want to punch them.
Yeah.
Right? Number 2, worst tourist on the planet, eat, pray, love girls.
Oh, really?
Eat, pray, love girls that watch all the influencer shit on online, and then they pick like a random cheap Southeast Asian country where they're going to go get in touch with their spirituality and this guy's face, and they do some sort of cleansing bullshit.
Yeah,
where they exercise all the negative energy that they've accumulated from past relationships and work and blah blah blah. They do the ones in Bali that are actually not a thing. They just created it for stupid white women from Australia and America.
Retreat.
Yeah, have you seen them? Where they do like the whole...
and they make them scream.
Yeah. That's not a thing.
Yeah, no, of course it's not.
Ding a little triangle.
It's not a thing.
No.
And then they're like, I want to live as the locals do. Fuck off, man.
The locals don't even want to live how the locals do.
You can spot them a mile away.
Yeah, of course you can.
They stink of tourism.
Yeah.
Those are my number 2s.
Get a lot of money off them, though.
Yeah, but that's the only reason they're there, man. My big gripe is hearing that I want to live I lived as the locals did. Fuck off, you did. You didn't get any gambling dens at 1 in the
Locals
morning.
take the money for the service, get on the next plane, change countries.
Exactly, man.
Live as the locals do.
I can't stand that fucking saying, man. But yeah, that one town, Vietjet, whatever the fuck it's called, that was overrun with white people. Legit. You know why they got poisoned, because there's too many of them.
They go running low and need to top up somehow.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Outside of that, no tourist shit anywhere, man. My one souvenir from Laos was the money itself, because you can't physically get the money outside of the country. It's a closed currency.
Yeah, Yeah,
you can't even buy it like in Vietnam or Thailand or whatever.
Can you take it out of the country?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can.
So it's just a printing press.
What do you mean?
They print it, you take it, then you can just leave with money.
But it's the same as Fiji. I couldn't even get Fiji.
Oh, really?
Here in Australia, no. You had to get it there.
It's absolutely worthless, though, their money. They use the US over everything else.
Oh.
So it's like $2 Laos, and it's like, and how do you call it? Like, you give them like $5 US, and they go to give you back like $4 Laos instead of like the $4 American.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But the thing, you know what I never understood? I actually looked it up before I was still there because it was fascinating, but I didn't actually get to read about it. Why is it that like Laos, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, they use like denominations of thousands?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is that?
That was the same as Italy as well before they went to the euro.
lira?
Yeah.
2 million lira.
Yeah, it was like 50,000 lira. It was like $50. Yeah, it was like $50. I think it was 50,000 lira or 500 lira. I can't remember now.
Yeah, but I don't understand why. Everything's in like the millions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like how much is a bottle of milk? Yeah, 2 million freaking dong. What do you mean? You look it up and it's like $100.
But is it a note for 2 million dong, or is it
no.
2 million notes of dong?
100,000s.
Oh, what?
100,000s, 500,000s.
Jeez.
They're the biggest ones, I think.
Just walk around carrying a stack of notes.
Dude,
how much
literally.
Is that? It's 40 cents. Yeah, hang on. All right. The one stack, 2 stacks.
Dude, they're stacks.
Do they have coins as like change? Like low currency? Small.
They're in tens of thousands.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you give them a 500,000 and they're here like giving you all these coins.
It's more notes. It's more notes, man.
Everything's rounded up to a 5, yeah, or a 0.
Yeah, 5 and 0. Ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think there's 2. I can't remember. But yeah, you're carrying stacks. The thing is, it's a false sense of security as well, because you might convert $1 million dong or whatever, but it's worth jack shit.
That's probably why they do it. The countries around the world probably bank on... that happened to me in Japan as well. I misunderstood removing the 2 zeros at the end of the currency. And like when you're dealing with like $1 million or whatever, you forget like how many zeros to take off, or you miss the zeros. And it happens. Like you accidentally, like you can overdraw, or you can give too much money to the vendor, or it happens.
Hang on, I'm looking this up because I'm sure there was a reason for it. I remember reading about it. Hang on, why?
It's a scam tourist.
So the whole currency is based around scamming tourists.
Yeah, it seems like it.
What, even in Italy?
Well, give me a better...
Especially Italy.
Give me a better reason. Isn't Italy full of scammers now?
Of course it is. Yeah. Europe is full of scammers.
What kind of scammers are they? Like where are they from? They're not local scammers, are they?
Gypsies or Sicilians?
Look, gypsies are found more in the north, like Rome, in the towns, the bigger towns. It tends to be more in, we call them Marocchini, which are technically the translation is Moroccans. But it's more so like just North Africans, because they're the ones that just take a boat straight there or whatever. And they're always doing like selling bags and selling stuff.
Stolen goods.
I'm just on Reddit. It says, just curious as to why currencies like the yen, 1 rupee use large denominations. Is it inflation? Is it history of the currency? Blah, 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 blah. One champion has said, also Thai baht and Vietnamese dong. A lot of European countries had the same thing before the euro. E.g., when you went to Italy, they had the lira. Drachma was like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hand over $100 bill, and in return, you get a foot-high pile of lira. Just I know the Greek drachma was that. It used to come in 510,000 notes. Spanish peseta came in 500 ESP coins and 10,000 ESP notes. Romanian lei used to come in million denominations. Okay, but there's no answer. As in, why?
No one answered. They're just all crack jokes.
Why? Why do they do it?
I'm rich.
No, but why do they do it?
Maybe that's why.
Go to a bank and ask.
It's a sense of ownership. It's a sense of, I've got a lot of money.
It can't be. It can't be, man. Okay, Japan was not represented at the original Bretton Woods conference, blah, blah, blah. It was nevertheless decided around 1949-50 that the Japanese yen should be a member of the system. Reliable legend has it that at a dinner, MacArthur's then economic advisor, Mr. Dodger, was informed that yen literally translate the circle, and armed with this piece of information chose 360 as the yen's starting point against the dollar. That makes no sense. Oh, my God. The answer is mainly because post-World War II, there was rampant inflation in Japan, and the USD to yen went from 21 to 386 per US dollar. So at that stage, the Japanese pegged their yen to the US dollar at the rate of 369 yen to the $1.
So they just printed the notes as it was instead of just having a butt ton of notes before that.
They're still sketchy. Like, it's not an extra solid...
So printing out, like, their $100 version to whatever the equivalent would be in yen compared to the American dollar.
So they just made up a number?
Yeah, so... I think so.
That's what I just heard you say, isn't it?
I'm just reading out whatever Reddit says, man.
I'm not sold on it. Not sold on it.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
Andy's very skeptical tonight.
No.
No, but it doesn't make sense. Like, it's fucking irritating because I've gone to some of these countries and they literally just lop off the zeros anyway because it's assumed. You know what I mean? It's assumed it's 100,000 or 10 million. They'll just have 10 and then, like, the little symbol for million or some shit like that.
No, it's million, my friend.
Indonesia's like that. The rupee or whatever it's called. It's fucked. You end up having a wallet full of shit. None of it's worth anything. I don't know. Anyway, thus concludeth my...
Sound like a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing us on that journey.
Sorry, man.
You can have a cock if you like now.
A what?
Yeah.
Oh, the dick. I should eat a dick.
You should eat a
Are they
dick.
lollies or chewies?
They're lollies. Little candies.
Hang on. Let me have a look.
You know, crack them open.
Well, he probably should eat a dick after that.
I think so.
We just spent like 40 minutes listening to his terrible trip, to be honest. Terrible trip.
Terrible. Put a whole banner on it.
There was
today,
literally
dude.
not one positive about the whole story.
You know what was funny?
You lost the microwave too, man.
Yeah.
I was like, you're making this difficult. Laughing.
I lost the fucking microwave.
The guy's probably trying to be.
Did you get the microwave back?
No.
Did you need to microwave anything?
These taste like shit, by the way.
Of course they
taste like a dick.
They taste like shit.
Put them back in the middle.
I feel like they're going to just go everywhere now. You're going to get one of those sealed little boxes from Woolies.
Yeah. I'll find one. Nah, when I was in...
Put them in the cup if you want.
Nah,
so they don't fall over.
When I was in Rakyat, there was a Southeast Asian soccer cup going on.
Oh,
yeah, so between like Thailand, Malaysia, whatever. The final was between Thailand and Vietnam. Deadliest of enemies, but sleeves and the back power.
They don't like each other?
They're fine, but there's like a cultural rivalry for whatever.
Who's got the worst language? Both actually kind of sound the same.
They do.
No, they don't.
Kind of. I said kind of.
They don't sound anything alike.
Don't make me Google it.
You don't need to Google it. I was in fucking Laos for
All right, give me the example then. Just tell me. Let me hear Vietnamese. Let me hear Thai. Do it.
Hang on. I'll tell you why I know they're different. Because I went from Vietnam, I did like 10 days in Vietnam, and then I went to Laos. Laos's language is very similar to Thai.
Vietnam's closer to China, though, isn't it? I think it borders it.
The top, yeah. So basically, the way it works is people ask me what Laos was like. Okay, it's sort of like a mirror. It's sort of like a mix of Thai culture and Vietnam socialism. So they're a communist country, but the language is Thai. Like, similar to Thai. People are very, very friendly, very, very friendly, and the streets, like it's a very poor country, but the streets are very wide. It's very green. It's not overrun with concrete yet, whereas Vietnam is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The two languages are totally different.
Yeah, of course.
There are no similarities whatsoever. Yeah.
In terms of words, sure.
So then, when are you going? Just by on the fact that they're both tonal languages?
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
That's what I meant. They do.
Different. You know they're different.
But from a distance, if I heard both of them, I wouldn't pick which one was which unless I knew a word, which I do. So I'd pick that. But off the tone of it, if someone was Japanese or Chinese standing in that group, I'd instantly hear the difference without even knowing a word, or Korean even.
I understand what you're saying.
Because it's a lot more high pitch.
Yeah, but I think Thai and Vietnamese are totally different.
In terms of tone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Vietnamese and Chinese are a lot more similar. Whereas Korean and Japanese are very similar.
See, I don't think so. Because Vietnamese is mainly high. I don't think there's many lows.
No, it is mainly high. You're right.
Yeah,
100%.
But Chinese have both.
You reckon?
Yeah, they that deep.
It also depends on where you are.
Oh, 100%.
So like
the village, yeah.
Hanoi was totally different. Ho Chi Minh was like the Vietnamese you hear here in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Because all the southerners
That's true.
were
They got their own little dialects to
Hanoi is totally different, dude. To the point where Vietnamese speakers in my group, they struggled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can hear it.
Eat a bag of dicks.
Huh?
What's he doing?
Eat a bag of dicks.
How's that for tone? So I'm going to guess that's Vietnamese.
That's Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So you can hear.
Eat a bag of dicks. กินถุงจู
That was Thai. That was Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did sound more Chinese, didn't it?
Yeah.
ถุงจู
You know what the thing with Vietnamese is frustrating? It's like, it's all tonal. So you'll have... What are you laughing at?
The test.
Oh, the test. It's tonal where the same word could mean 50 different things just based on the tone. But you can't even hear the tone because they say it that fast.
Yeah.
And it's just assumed because then they combine the rest of the word. You know, like I honestly made a go of actually trying to say the basic shit. Thank you, please. You know, what do you want? I want rice with chicken. I want soup. I want beef soup. I want blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And everyone thought I was American. They just assume anyone that's not.
White.
Yeah. He's the American guy. Like, do you know what I mean? Actually, when I was yelling at the airline, I was having to go at him, and then they were like, oh, but, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and I just had him over a barrel and ended it with thank you in Vietnamese, and everyone around me laughed because I gave him a sarcastic thank you in Viet. And then the beggar, the fucking beggar kid, I thought I would have told you about him.
No.
So in Rak Yao, I was sitting there trying to eat soup, and this one kid rocks up panhandling, right? He didn't have a talent or anything, he was just asking for money. And I've literally stepped around him, and he said to me, please, food, hungry. And I said, in Viet, I said, no, sorry, and I'm out. And he just looked at me, started laughing. He wasn't no longer holding his stomach in agony. He was literally just running around laughing because the white guy said, no, thank you, sorry, in Vietnamese. Yeah. And then he was laughing at me the entire time. He didn't look like he was in pain.
No.
Little prick.
Scammers, mate, scammers.
Anyway, where's it going with this?
Goes back to his feast.
He's got a house with a swimming pool. You're son of
I think the country's changed a lot as well because of social media. I think it's heavily impacted from what I've understood. What you were saying, the development of it has changed so much drastically over the years.
Oh, yeah.
I think, I knew this guy who was an influencer on YouTube in Vietnam. And he was just saying that, he lives in one of those massive skyscrapers now. And he was just saying, you go back, this is when I was talking to him years ago, but he was saying, you go back 3 years ago, this skyscraper didn't exist. Most of the city was completely undeveloped. But he was telling me during the time it was being developed. And I was just saying to him, where's all that money coming from?
It'd be foreign investors. It'd be a lot of it. So a friend of mine, acquaintance kind of more so, went and lived in Cambodia for about 2 years, had to come back because his kids were unwell, one of his kids. So he came back, stayed a little bit, then he tried to go back and live there again, but he had to come back again. And essentially, this was Cambodia, and he goes, a lot of that area, Thailand, Vietnam, and all that, a lot of it is foreign investment from China and Russia.
Yeah.
And he goes, in a lot of the areas in Cambodia, entire cities have been purchased by Russia or China, and essentially, there's no crime there whatsoever because they just killed all the drug dealers and all the criminals. They just killed them.
On that, yeah.
Straight up.
When I was in Laos, on New Year, the day before New Year's Eve, went out into the main sort of city area, the centre. It's not a city. You can't call it a city. It's a town, right? And there was a food festival going on, and that festival was running for the week of New Year's and all that sort of shit. And I sat down, just having a beer, eating whatever, and there was a family sharing the same picnic table that I was sitting on or whatever.
Yeah.
And we got to chatting, and they said, come back, tomorrow, New Year's Eve. We're going to have extended friends here. You guys are travelling, spend it with us. I'm like, okay, cool. So it was nice, right? We kicked it with locals for New Year's Eve. Chatting to the guy, he was in property development, and he said his entire portfolio is basically all Chinese investment, all of it. They're just coming in and building supermarkets, building fucking hotels, just buying up blocks.
I would assume there's probably more billionaires in China than there is in the entire world just because of the ratio of population.
There'd have to be.
I would think so.
Well, we've got half of Docklands is all owned by Chinese.
Yeah.
South Bank is owned by Chinese, man. I was going to say, I was watching the soccer, and it was Thailand versus Vietnam.
Big crowd?
It was at a local bar,
okay.
Right? So every local sort of piled in and just sat around these TVs and just watching it, right? And they all got into it, and you could tell there were probably a few degenerate gamblers in the crowd losing it. Because Vietnam was down, on aggregate, they were down by a goal or something at one point, so people are screaming. But I found myself getting roped into the game, and I remember watching the gameplay, and there was a delay, this dude intercepted it, Vietnam's charging for goal, and then he stopped short of the 30-meter mark, and was just taking too long to pass it. And my inner instinct, I nearly yelled, Mao! Hurry up. And just as I've said it, I've pulled back and said, what am I doing? Shut up. And then, before you know it, all you hear is, Mao! Mao! Everyone's fucking screaming it. I'm it's brilliant. It's like watching the soccer at home.
That's hilarious.
Vietnam ended up winning, which was fucking great. For the next 8 hours, I fell asleep. All we could see were dudes on bikes. Every man and their dog, flags, bikes just beeping, dudes with pots and shit just banging them like drums. It's insane. It was actually really, it was nice to see it. You know what I mean? Everyone's just high-fiving each other and shit. Everyone. Didn't matter.
So did you end up finding out if the ladyboy told you that you had sleep apnea?
Number one, in the entire 3 weeks across 2 different countries, I saw one person that you would consider a trans member of the community.
Okay.
They are
one.
So did
they're
they
convincing.
No, this is not convincing.
So did this person tell you that you had sleep apnea or not?
I tried telling you. Thailand? Yes, everywhere. All right, Thailand? Yes, everywhere.
So in Laos then?
No.
Oh.
One person in Vietnam. One.
So did this person tell you had sleep apnea?
I got it home.
Yes.
I called the doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor informed me.
Yeah.
Blood test came back good.
Oh, that's good.
Slightly bit of fatty liver. Cholesterol's actually...
Yeah.
Cholesterol's dropped from last time
nice.
I had a test, okay, which is about a year ago.
Wait, did you have this test after you got back?
No, I did it right before I left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he called me when the results were in, and I'm like, dude, I'm overseas. Like, yeah. So cholesterol's still high, but dropped from the last time I got my test. So it means whatever you're doing is working.
It's good.
Vitamin D level's fine. Everything's fine. The only thing was, like I said, a bit high cholesterol and a bit of fat. He goes, but
So nothing showed for thyroid.
no.
Sleep apnea, my man.
You realise a cure for sleep apnea is just losing weight, right?
No, it's not.
It is.
It helps.
It does help, but if it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, but you realise that sleep apnea can be a byproduct of gaining weight.
Yes,
Yes.
it can
Yes.
be, yeah.
But even after you lose the weight, it can stick around.
Or it could be caused by other things.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
lots
I'm
of
saying.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
My
you're,
sleep apnea is
if you're a
stress and weight related. I know it is.
Oh, so you admit it?
I already knew it.
Oh, well.
I didn't need a lady boy to tell
Well.
me.
yes, good day.
What do you
Well,
mean?
well done, sir.
One for John.
There it is.
How is that one for
On
John?
the Triple M scoreboard.
But it's on the video. What do
is
you
it, a
mean?
pun road end?
What do you mean? I never denied that I was stressed and overweight. We already knew that.
No, we were in denial about the sleep apnea.
No, I said that if I have sleep apnea, it's because I'm overweight and stressed. I know that. I never said anything different. What do you
But
mean?
you should have said instead of if I have sleep apnea, you should have said I have sleep apnea because of.
I knew that.
Oh, just admit it.
So
Then.
sleep
Bring it to
apnea,
support.
if you're a smoker, a drinker, weight is a contributor, obviously.
Stress, poor sleep.
Breathing
issues, sinus issues.
Yep.
Yeah, which is all,
I think
shit that
genetics.
have.
I think it can be
unfortunately.
So it can influence it a bit. But I would look into a machine seriously.
No,
Well,
not at this point.
why not?
Because I want to lose weight. I want to de-stress. I want to get my diet right. I want to do everything else first. I'm not going to the easy out.
All right, I'll check in on you in 6 months, and we'll see how that's going, Dim.
Are you for real?
Yes.
Says the guy that turned up with 2 donuts.
Yeah, I'm
only saw
to
one.
know about. Yeah, I ate the other one.
Oh,
It had it had sprinkles, and it was pink.
those ones go first.
Yes. At room temperature, they don't last long.
The icing's just starting to melt.
Just the right amount.
You are such a dickhead. You are. I'm going to punch you in the face. You fucking smirk.
Well, I'll tell you what, you want to get your diet right, but you're consuming a Red Bull.
Because I'm tired. Relax, man. It's a sugar-free Red Bull.
And then he's going to go home and have sleep apnea. And then here
It's
we go.
a fucking
The
sugar-free
vicious
one.
cycle. It doesn't, it's worse.
It's got caffeine. Big deal.
No, it's worse. The
sleep-
sugar they're using is worse.
Sleep apnea is one of those hard things to kind of, like, you can do the right things, but once you've got it, it's very hard to just get rid of it.
Get rid of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sucralose, my friend. You're drinking sucralose. It's poison.
It's poison.
Have a swap.
No, I'm not drinking that shit. Tastes like crap.
It doesn't matter.
Isn't it a fermented root or something?
Which? This one?
Kombucha.
The
No, it's,
kombucha craze was part of that Eat, Pray, Love fucking tourist. They all started drinking it like it was the best thing
Look,
ever.
What is it?
Ignoring the fact that it tastes like
mushroom?
crap.
What is it?
This.
It's a root, isn't it?
I'll look it up.
Kombucha is just a bacteria.
Oh, is that all it is?
Fermented bacteria, yeah.
Yeast.
Yeah, it's yeast, yeah.
Kombucha is a tea.
No, they mix it with tea. So this has black and green tea in it.
Okay, so it's a fermented, lightly effervescent, sweetened black tea drink. Sometimes the beverage is called kombucha tea to distinguish it from the culture of bacteria and yeast. The culture itself is bacteria.
The
and
culture,
yeast.
yeah.
Yeah. So juice, fruit, spices, blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. Kombucha is thought to have originated in China, where the drink is traditional. By the early 20th century, it spread to Russia and then parts of Eastern Europe and Germany. Now it's homebrewed globally, blah, blah, blah. Dude, the global market in 2019 was worth $1.7 billion.
It's not that much.
It was right before COVID when they went viral with
I
it.
remember it going,
All
Tastes
I'm
like
saying
crap.
is it tastes fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, here we go.
It tastes similar to that, but probably better.
Okay, here. You ready for this?
Are you telling me you like the taste of Red Bull?
Are you ready for this?
Just answer yes or no.
Numerous health benefits have been...
Yes or no? Do you like the taste of Red Bull?
Better than that.
That's a lie.
What? It's absolute lie.
Objection!
I'm telling you that I hate the taste of kombucha.
No.
Okay, here we go, Mr. Health Freak. Numerous health benefits have been claimed to correlate with drinking kombucha. There is little evidence to support any of these claims.
It has nothing to do with health.
The beverage has caused rare serious adverse effects, possibly arising from contamination during home preparation. It is not recommended for therapeutic purposes.
No, it's not about... It's not about
voodoo bullshit
it's not about
that the Eat, Pray, Love morons drink.
It's not about health. It's not about any of that. The simple solution is I would rather drink this that has a very basic ingredient list that I can read and understand and I know exactly what they all are versus that shit that's
I love how you skipped over the other drink in that fridge that is clear as day with one ingredient.
Which one? Water?
Yeah.
No, but that's the point. When you have cravings, you don't go to water to curb those cravings. You go to something with flavour. Yeah?
What are you pointing? He's pointing.
Shoots from the hip.
Why don't you just put lemon in water or something?
Yeah, you can do that too.
That's what I'm saying. There's just one ingredient as opposed to kombucha, which doesn't taste nice. It tastes like shit.
You can do that.
But that actually tastes like shit.
It doesn't, though. That's subjective. Of course it's
subjective, man.
Huh?
It tastes like ass.
Or was it finished?
I'm sorry, but kombucha is one of those things where it just tastes like ass.
I've never tried it. That's the same company that makes a Sodally. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a shill at all. He bought into it.
I didn't even say the name.
He bought into the bamboozlement.
That's all right, actually.
Thank you very much.
No chance.
Have that. What you're telling me? If you don't drink that 10 times, you wouldn't just get used to it and be like, "Oh, I like that." It would grow on you.
The aftertaste isn't as. There's not as much depth in the flavour in the afterwards as opposed to the Sodally stuff.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
what
okay.
A load of ass.
Would you like to try some?
Never.
Please. I'm going to give you some.
I've tried it. I don't want it.
This is different to the one you tried last.
Excuse me. Can I just? I just need to make an announcement to our fellow listeners. As we have seen from the first inaugural brackets when we debated about the best drink, there's been a reoccurring theme that has always occurred, and that is that Dim is obsessed with the taste of sugar.
You're the one that comes in here with donuts every week.
You like strong flavours, I've noticed, like very strong flavours. You don't know nothing about subtle.
You got to get those subtle notes.
Yes. That's all right. It just tastes like a berry juice, like a berry soft drink.
That tastes like stale cantaloupe. That is not a good taste.
And there's my...
And my 2 cents.
Yes.
Better hold those SOBs.
Yeah, but look what's in it compared to yours. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I'm not comparing medicinal benefits, man. I'm just saying it tastes like shit.
But he's not drinking it for medicinal benefit. He's drinking it because...
It tastes like crap.
I get by having one small meal, a protein bar with, again, basic ingredients that I can read. That's why I picked these ones specifically. And a drink at the end as a dessert so I can get something sweet in my mouth so I don't have to eat again until tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. I'm not eating again till tomorrow afternoon.
I'm saying this will help.
What's wrong with both of you? I'm eating again tonight.
I was waiting for that.
And then probably before I go to bed and then again in the morning.
Okay, so pretty much towards the end of the trip, I was just starting to feel... My diet over the trip was actually pretty good because you're in Vietnam, you're having literally soups most of the time. You know what I mean?
No diarrhea?
No, dude.
No, that's good.
Hey.
I didn't shit at all, actually, now that you mentioned it.
No. Dead set, man. I was fully prepared because I remember 2008 when I'd gone, my stomach was a mess. Right? I was actually anxious as fuck. And I remember my stomach being a mess. This time, I swear to Christ, 3 weeks, I ate street food, I ate fucking festival food, I ate everything. I ate things that people cooked at home. I was fine. My stomach kicked off once, and it's because I bought Popeyes at the airport because our flight got delayed by like 3 hours. I'm like, man, we're starving.
How's Popeyes?
It's an American franchise, chicken.
I thought it was seafood, like calamari and stuff.
No.
Like roast chickens?
No, fried chicken.
Like KFC?
It's like a KFC. It's an American franchise.
Is it better or worse than KFC?
It's the same shit.
Oh, apparently Wendy's is coming now to Australia.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They open in Sydney?
They always start in Sydney and then they come here.
Yeah, I saw a long line in one of the news articles.
Yeah, because they're lining up for fast food.
And someone said it was just Hungry Jack's.
It is. Anything that
is.
comes here is Hungry Jack's. Anyway, The one time my stomach kicked off a bit was that airport food because it was just a shitty franchise at the airport that cost an arm and a leg. And the other time,
like Popeyes is in.
Yeah, but it's just called Popeyes.
It's not related to. No. Okay, sorry. Continue.
And then in Vietnam, in the rural area, we got invited to someone's house, and we were just having like beers, and they had it was like a bacala, like a dried fish, and then there was another one that they were grilling. They were grilling this fish, bones and all, with the marinade till it became like a jerky almost. Yeah, and the whole afternoon there was no other heavy food; it was just that. But they kept offering it to me because it's like, let's see the American eat this shit. I'm sitting there just smashing it. It was delicious. But I overdid it and my stomach kicked off a bit.
Yeah, fair.
Which I expected. Outside of that, mate, 100%. 100%. Not once. Not one cramp, nothing. I got cramps in Greece 2 years ago. Anyway.